Ruby, you can't be in the show.
Ruby, you used the bear head last week.
Ruby, you got lots of explaining to do.
I loved working on I Love Ruby. Everyone was so kind and supportive, and yet everyone was out for something. They were out for a pound of flesh. That is, my flesh.
Hey, Mickey, you know that Ruby of yours is one foxy lady.
Yeah.
I Love Ruby is clearly a great classic of television. Not many recognize it for what it really is, though. The first true dramedy. In the space of a half hour, more often than not, you would laugh and cry. Be truly moved. It's Shakespearean in its level of sophistication.
Lillian, you're such a tool. Like a garden weasel.
Merle, that was a good one. Now I'm wounded. Why don't you go to the shed?
We had real fabulous fun making I Love Ruby. And in later years, before he passed away, Merle Potts, Lillian's husband, told me that we ran the show into the ground. But I simply don't believe that is so. If we ran anything into the ground, in fact, it was my poor husband, Mickey Mikado. Of course, after his death, we canceled the show and took some time off. We all needed it. And besides, I could wear the little red nose, and I would be adorable, and I would say, "Hello, Mr. Mikado, I would like to audition for your show." And he would say, "Fabulous," and there I would be, and then I would be cast for sure.
Ruby, I don't know. It didn't work last week. Have you ever thought about just making him dinner? Tidying up around the house a little? There are other ways to get a man's attention, I've heard.
Ruby Kincaid? Ruby Kincaid was... perhaps she was my first crush as a child. She was... Do you happen to have a moist towelette?
Hey there, do you pop out at parties? Are you unpopular? Do you are try Vita meat try I'll try Vitamita Vagis excrement. It's just like candy.
So Coca-Cola was a sponsor for a long time for you,
Yeah.
and yet you always seem to have a glass of scotch in your hand.
I told my doctor the other day because he said, "Ruby, you need to stop with the scotch, honey. You're getting up there in years." And I said, "Honey, I was at Studio 54. Leave me the hell alone."
The fact that after the death of Merle Potts, his character was never even written off the show, but would be working in the shed and would call on the telephone from time to time, but was never actually taken off the show, just goes to show that there was another force that really carried the show. Was it the dynamic between Ruby and Lillian Lance, or was it the incomparable Ruby herself?
Have you seen Merle?
Oh, I think he's out in the shed.
What does he do out there all day?
No, man things, hammering, nailing.
Banging.
At the time, two single ladies, no man around. It just wasn't going to work out, with the FCC. So, Leo, how about those Bee Gees?
Bee Gees?
Bee Gees,
Sounds like a disease.
No, they're fabulous. They sing, and they sing kind of like this.
So, Ruby, tell me about Late Night with Ruby and Lil.
Oh, that was fun. It was Lillian and myself, and we interviewed all kinds of fabulous, famous people. Everybody from, we had Boy George, Mr. George. or can I call you boy? Hun. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. George. She likes hats, and she's a bit of, a klepto.
Do I look like a transvestite man now? Don't answer.
We had a lot of fun with her and the Sherry Lewis, with the lamb chop, and who I just adore, Mr. Thompson.
I don't think his name's actually Thompson. Rube.
Oh, no?
He's not a twin either. There are 3 of them.
But Lillian, of course, was killed, which is tragic. It was a terrible, terrible thing. It was a terrible day in all of our lives. And I think about her every day. Yeah.
There were really not many people who could understand what was happening there on the screen. Through the monkey puppet Durango, Lillian was reborn for Ruby.
The subtlety that was Ruby and Durango. If you watch closely, that stupid little puppet really isn't just a puppet.
He's currently entered a goth phase. He recently auditioned for a 9 Inch Nails video. Wait, don't answer that. Durango, he gets a little excited. You do know who Durango is, don't you? You have to turn off the camera, though. He mustn't ever see this film. Do you understand how important this is? Durango is Lillian Lance. She's come back from.
But Durango?
Durango is Lillian. Isn't it obvious?
Well, I don't mean to be challenging at all. I'm just trying to understand all this.
Oh, no. You can't offend me.
Well, to be completely honest, I was always under the impression that you did the voice for Durango.
I am channeling her. I am the medium. And Durango, that's who Lillian is now. Lillian is Durango.
So that's why your lips move.